Hello everyone, welcome to Urban Informatics and Modeling. My name is Joshua and I will be providing information on how to do the project. Hello everyone, welcome to Urban Informatics and Modeling, and my name is Josh, and today I'll be covering about the project that we did for Urban Informatics and Modeling, which is... Hello everyone, welcome to Urban Informatics and Modeling, and this is Josh, and in this series I will be providing the documentation of how we did the project that we did for this subject. So our project is about caring for country, but caring for country is a very big and broad meaning. So caring for country, it can be seen from environmental lens, it can be seen from economic lens, but what we want to do now is to see it from the social lens, especially dealing with homelessness. So homelessness is not what you think it is. It does not mean that someone sleeps in the public only. So it has a lot of definition, it has a lot of meaning, and what we were trying to do in the first stage of our project is to define what is homelessness. So there are several websites and several governmental body who defines homelessness. So let us search one by one just to see how the process of our thoughts and the process of how we brainstormed it. The first one is just to Google it normally, homelessness. Homelessness in Australia. So there are lots of news about homelessness in Australia, but you want to see that something that's sort of like .org.au, because .org.au usually is a legal organization. So for example, you want to have a look like that, and then you want to have a look at, for example, Victoria, because our project is in Victoria. Plan. And this is sort of like the information that we have here for general guidelines and to see that why are they homeless, so the reasons why they're homeless and where do they stay. So this is interesting because all of these defines what is homelessness. So homelessness does not only mean that someone does not have a home, but homelessness means that someone does not have a place of belonging. Because home does not mean only physical home. It doesn't mean that just like a house, a structure, or an architecture, but it also relationship like family, like a place to belong, or something that is related to like a shelter that they can have their own privacy. So in here, that's why you can see that supported accommodation, boarding houses, overcrowded dwellings, staying with others' household, and other contemporary accommodations. This here, they are living in a structure, but their structure is not really their home, it's not really their house. So it has a lot of definition of homelessness. It does not mean only that someone is sleeping outside, because someone is sleeping outside, it means that it's rough sleeping. But it's in here you see that numbers as a percentages, the most are support accommodations and overcrowded dwellings. What we want to focus more is the overcrowded dwellings, and that will be covered in other video that's talking about CHP, because in support accommodation for homelessness, it means that these people have been taken care of by the government or some other body. Like for example, there are the government body. So there are also some standards that someone can be defined as homeless or not, which is in Australia it's AIHW. It's Australia Institute of Health and Welfare. So it defines what does it mean for someone to be homeless, and it defines the welfare and health of the population and setting up the standards. So if you have a look here, you see that there's a lot of some relate documents related to homelessness. Like there's a lot of services here that is provided, but I want to show you a single definition of homeless that may be debatable, and that can bring a lot of question. So I want to show you this, which is called CNOS. CNOS is this Canadian National Occupancy Standard. Is a standard that is used by AIHW. So in here it defines what does it mean for someone who are living sufficiently in a home. So it's the bedroom requirements of a household based on the following criteria. So basically they calculated and they assess the quality of the bedrooms, the quality of bedrooms of households, what it consists of, and whether it's stated whether that household is considered as overcrowded or not. So there should be no more than 2 persons per bedroom. Children less than 5 years of age of different sexes may reasonably share a bedroom. Children of 5 years of age or older of opposite sex should have separate bedrooms. Children less than 18 years of age and of the same sex may reasonably share a bedroom, and single household members 18 years old or older should have a separate bedroom, as should couples or parents. What does it mean? So the first one here, I'm going to skip that one because I'll put that as the last one. Children less than 5 years of age of different sexes may reasonably share a bedroom. So if you have children, one is a boy and one is a girl, both of them before 5 years of age, they can sleep in the same room. If they are more than 5 years old, they need to have a separate bedroom. And then children less than 18 years of age and of the same sex may reasonably share a bedroom. For example, you have 2 children, both of them are boys. One of them is 14, the other one is 12, so both of them are below 18. They can share the bedroom. But above 18 years old, anyone should have a separate bedroom. And from here, we can conclude that there should be no more than 2 persons per bedroom. Now, this is what I want to show you, and this is becoming a basis for our project. Why is this important? Why is this definition important? Because it means that there's a loophole in how the government defines some household is homeless or not, whether defines some household is overcrowded or not. So in Dandenong, I can show you the general demography. This is going to be covered in the other video, but I will show you a little bit about the loophole. So I'm going to show you the ABS, the Australian Bureau of Statistics. Again, this is going to be covered in other video, but this shows the statistics and census and demography of a suburb. So you want to search for census and then go to the project location, which is ours in Dandenong. The reason why we chose Dandenong again is going to be covered in another video, but this suburb shows the highest number of overcrowding in Victoria, specifically around Melbourne and Greater Melbourne area. Now you want to go to this and view quick stats, and this is the one that I want to show you. People, cultural and language diversity. Why is this important? Because again, Melbourne is a multicultural city and it's a multicultural sub-state. So it means that there are some considerations of people who live there are not Australian. So we found out that most of the people there are coming from Asian countries, which are common to have 2 or more people in one single bedroom every day, every night. So they sleep together even though they are not a couple, as in they sleep in one bedroom. Of course, two separate beds, but it's common in Asian countries, and we sometimes have like, since I am an Asian and since I do not native Australian, so I know the culture. So sometimes we live under the same roof. About it can go like two households, and it's quite common. I mean, it's quite common, especially when you're from the Middle Eastern countries, like for example Afghanistan, India, and Sri Lanka. These four countries, right? These four countries, they have the culture of togetherness. So Asia has a culture of togetherness where people come together as a family. That's why they have a really huge living room with nothing, with no furniture on it, because they like to sleep. They like to sit down and be in the communal sense of a family. So it's a very different culture for Australia, and certainly is a very different perception from Xenos. So there might be a loophole where the Australian government, when was doing the census, they didn't consider this. They didn't consider this, that culture changes, that cultural differences has different way of life. People have different way of life. People from any other country have different way of life, and it's it's a loophole, and that's why we chose this. We chose this as a basis for our project, where the standards are not accommodating cultural cultural differences. Having said that, we also need to. Having said that, the team, us, we also notice that it does not mean some family should have 8 people inside the room. Of course, we do not agree with that, but the problem with this is that the problem with this CNOS and the problem with AIHW is that they assume this is the best standards, and they don't look at the cultural differences that affects how people live, and perhaps the numbers may be wrong. So that is why this kind of research is important, just to give out like a basis for our project. And this is the drive for our project that shows how public housing is important. Public housing is important because it accommodates two different worlds. The first one is to accommodate this standard. The second one is trying to accommodate people from different culture, which has more of a togetherness. That's why in the project later on you can see that there are some communal spaces that has been emphasized just to accommodate the cultural differences. So that is for today. I hope you can find this series interesting, because it is interesting and it's really exciting. And this is sort of like the initial research that you can go, and initial research that may be becoming a basis of your project. Maybe it triggers some of response or something else. But this kind of research is important just to give an idea and a projection of your project ahead. So thank you very much. I'll see you in the next one.